Hello and welcome to A Vaceran Dream. I am your host and dungeon master, Patrick Clayton. Welcome again. First and foremost, we are here celebrating this week in Tampa St. Pete area our Pride Week, Pride Month, Pride Day. This weekend, some of us, actually, all of my fellow castmates here were out there celebrating with all of those, sharing in love, life, and pride equality. It was really fun. We all got to experience it, and we get to wear our snazzy Vaceran Dreams Adventures for the Proud t-shirts. So I just want to give a big shout out to anybody who was out there and anybody who is celebrating with friends, family, etc. It is a great thing. So thank you so much. I'd like to go ahead and give shout outs to our sponsors today. Easy Roller Dice Company, great sponsor for us, supplies to us our dice trays and our dice that we roll with every week and we'll be rolling with in the very near future. Also, we'd like to give a big shout out to Sustainable Families Foundation. It's an organization that we are currently trying to aid in raising awareness for their cause, and also a little bit of money if we can. So if you feel free, please send us a few bits and we can try to get them some donations to help with their cause. Also, a artist that has supplied with us our portrait artwork, Carolina Abrantes. You can find her on her Twitter at fires_00 or her Patreon account. Please give her some love. She does some great work and will continue to do some great work for us in the future. Also, too, I wanted to address, currently we are without one of our cast members. Moving forward, Dakota Deer will not be with us on A Vaceran Dream. She is moving on to other projects, and we are just giving her a proper send-off. We want to wish her the best in everything that she does, and yeah, we hope that she does everything that she loves to do. Also, too, if you'll notice, we are down a couple other cast members. Corey, that who plays Mr. Rory Couture, is out sick. Apparently, the household has come down with a bit of the plague. So, in trying to save us from that, he will not be joining us today. I will be getting to run his character any way I see fit. Also, James is not with us this week. He is currently out of town, so I will also be running Unido. But all of those cast members will be back on our next episode, which will be airing live on the 10th of July, because we will not be live next week due to the holiday weekend. We will have other people out of town, but we wish that everyone has a safe and amazing 4th of July holiday weekend. What am I forgetting? I think
Sustainable?
I did that.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, Sustainable.
Yeah, good.
Easy Roller Dice Company, Sustainable Families, Carolina Abrantes. Okay, so I guess without further ado, we are going to go ahead and jump into our game. I believe we left off last session with our party within the city of Cariad after a hard-fought battle with a few losses, with some party members finding themselves now looking possibly to pick up some sort of healing potions or means of trying to sustain the life of all of the party. Suggested the party did happen to go to that of before that, a introduction of a particular character was met, a Kenku who was attempting to procure something from Dovavars and had information leading to that, possibly to a particular player character of Mr. Ronald Rosal. Discussion had occurred with that of Dovar and Rao, detailing some information that may or may not play into the backstory of one Pipaluk Bjornanumi. Probably not.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I feel like the scene is very... I don't like this.
A private conversation, though, thought between Dovar and Rao was not so private, as Eric's managed to sneak in his familiar Rael, the Raven, to eavesdrop on the conversation. We will find out what happens with that. The following day, the party made their way to a apothecary in the Garden District, who was told to possibly have healing potions. a transaction was made, and then the party attempting to leave, with the party already on edge with things that may or may not be impersonating other people or on their heels attempting to harm the party, which eventually, hopefully, the party gets a name to be called. We will see. The party reacted quickly to the half-elven female who was selling the potions, detaining the individual as Rao and Eric's shook down the rest of the house looking for what they believed to be either a body or some persons within the house, finding none. The half-elven individual revealed themselves to be that of a half-sun elf, which most of the party knows the half-sun elves, or any sun elves, to be that of we'll say an enemy to that of anyone within the continent of Erelaya. A few words were said. Vaceran taking it upon herself to stick a proverbial knife into that of the half-sun elf, letting them know that their partner, who the individual thought was still alive, was currently dead. Reactions were had, emotions were, and the party left, leaving this half-sun elf woman to her own devices, assuring her that her secret was safe for the time being. We find ourselves now with the party heading out of the garden districts and heading east into Cariad, possibly to the Iron Hammer, possibly to that of the Cassidy slums, with people turning one last time to look and scan the area to make sure that no one was being followed. This is where we find ourselves. I believe I'm just going to just be very, very clear. I really don't care where this mausoleum is. So I believe if anyone would like to accompany me, I don't find myself to go to these slums. I have a few things I need to procure, says Mr. Roy Kotor. Would anyone like to accompany me on this trip?
Someone should. At least we should not be traveling the streets by yourself.
Wise words from a less than wise person.
Do you have an issue, Roy?
None to speak of now. Anyone would like to join me? You see Unido at this point.
Take Unido with you, and if something goes down, he can always get you guys out of there. Unido, you can just leave something with us that you can return to.
I'm going to bring the matchstick to look for things that may be ignitable. Very well.
Again.
Unido, and he just Roy walks off, and Unido pauses, cocks his head, looks at you, waves his hand, and scurries away, following Mr. Kotor. Leaving the party, Eric's Pipalook, Rao, and Vaceran to their devices. We'll say just on the cusp of leaving the garden districts, ending up in the main thoroughfare. You would see the main northern gate to your right-hand side, and carts moving in and out. Currently now, in this afternoon, it would be mid to late afternoon at this point. Or sorry, mid-afternoon, we'll say. The festivities are still going on for the Knights of Despair. You do see actively puppets and performers, fire dancers, and the like all throughout the city celebrating this festival, week-long festival. What would you like to do?
Eric's is still disguised with the mask of many faces, just as basically himself, minus the horns and regular pale skin, kind of passing as a half-elf or an elf.
Okay.
I want to check one more time. Did we want to check with the university? I know that I won't be welcome there. I don't know if any of us would.
I don't have any pull there, so I don't even know anyone that goes there. So.
Other than Marceline.
I mean, yeah, but they're missing.
But you said you had studied similar topics. Would that not be helpful in talking with them?
No, I went to non-magic school, so just like what 90% of the other population does. Yeah, no, they're very secretive. I'm assuming. We're just a giant library. I don't know what they are.
There tends to be a certain amount of prejudice between learned magic users and magic users that come upon their powers in other ways.
But even Dovar, who wields magic, he has spoken of the university as frowning upon him himself, so why the division there?
He has come upon he was, I believe, born with his powers, as opposed to studying them.
How did you get your abilities?
Ever since I entered the force of Ashir, I've been able to do some magics.
Is that universal between all your people, or is it just a select few?
There are some that are gifted with healing and being able to work with herbs and plants and the like, but things like you can do and like you can do not. I've not seen that before.
And is anyone in your tribe overly snooty that they have a gift over anyone who may be magicless?
We'll say this, Piplup, when he says the word snooty, there is no direct
Just went
there is no direct word in your language that would identify to what he's referring to.
Do any feel superior because they
Arrogance.
have abilities?
There are some who are more talented than others who are more naturally gifted.
Do they perhaps flaunt it
I mean,
in a
if
distasteful way?
if an ability is needed, they will help.
But is there any who are overly, I guess, prideful, almost arrogant about their abilities?
No, we appreciate anything that anyone can do to help in a situation. That wouldn't be appropriate. Why would you just withhold something that you can do?
Sounds like a pleasant place to live. Your forest.
I do miss it. It's a lot less complicated than here, where you can trust some that look like you but not others, and it's all based on ability. It's very frustrating to try to navigate this.
Are you going to stand in the middle of the street the whole time? Eric's, I believe that your form is limited. Should we find the wizard?
We
We
should.
should try.
I don't know how we can hope to locate her though in these streets, and I just kind of like scuff my shoe on the cobblestone.
I don't know. Maybe. How much do we? I mean, I get that what we know about university is limited. But as we explore the streets of the city, is there any shop that seems like wizard-centric?
Roll me an investigation check, because you are in the main thoroughfare right now, so you can. But we'll say, based on your walk here, let's see if you can.
Investigation. 8-10.
A 10. Currently in the Garden District, you didn't really see anything that jumped out to you. In the Iron Hammer, with the few places that you went, it's hard. You're not really seeing anything that probably be wizard-centric. Either you overlooked within the Garden District, or it's probably relegated to that of the university side of this vast city.
Perhaps could your bird seek her out?
It's possible I may have other information that is particularly relevant in this case. We are welcome to go try the university first. It's a far better plan or better option rather. They're both equally kind of throw things at a wall and see what sticks, but we might as well take the safer option first.
Was there anything that you wanted to get done before we left, or?
I would like to visit the siphon that the elf had talked about, and perhaps the woman who works in that grove. I would like to talk to her as well.
Is that something on the way?
The siphon, as suggested, I believe before, is located, as I check my notes, Well, this is located, I believe, and it was specified to you that not only by the half-elven woman, but also Dovar, that the siphon is located within the Garden District. So you would have to double back and find the siphon.
And the grove is also in the Garden District, right?
Yes, not too
That's where
far
the
from
cats are.
Dovar's establishment.
But we can perhaps do that on the return trip.
Maybe. What time is it roughly?
We'll say it's probably about 1 o'clock.
Let's double check the university for. Well, here's 2 schools of thought. We can try the university first, and maybe they have like visiting hours where it's limited access to the public. But if we do that, there's a chance by the time we get back, the siphon will be closed.
Would I know if the university had visiting hours or some equivalent?
Roll me an intelligence check.
First roll of the day for me is a 1.
You would not be sure. You because of your background and who you deal with, you tend not to deal with that of the wizards.
These damn wizards. Let's head to the university, I suppose, and then if the siphon's not open on our return trip, we can always pay to visit another day. I don't think we're in an overly rushed hurry
Before
to
we
get
leave
out
the
of here.
city.
Yeah,
That's all.
I'd like to buy a potion as well. I didn't at this last stop, and I head towards the university.
Okay. Do you begin to follow that of Eric's? As you do, sorry.
I want to keep an eye out because I know there's people in costume around, specifically not anyone that are dressed like the people that attacked us previously.
Okay. So roll me a perception check.
Yep. At disadvantage because
You were not disadvantage, but at
because I'm in the city.
Yes, because you are in the city.
Lord.
Yeah. And you have your minus penalty still
Yep.
because of your.
Cool. That's a good start.
Yep.
It's gonna be 6.
6. With tumblers and jugglers and fire dancers and fire slingers and the array of marionette style puppets in the sky, in the air, and all sorts of busy that the city is right now. It's very overwhelming. It's hard to gauge or focus on anything. There are costumes aplenty.
And you will notice as we walk that Pipalik will kind of like step into your space and kind of push you to the edge of the street. Just trying to like get her between you and the crowd and just try to keep people from being on this side. Like
You're hurting.
Yeah.
Nice. As Eric, as you begin to lead the charge, Villafera does, and all of you would actively see this, she does take a few skips in her step to get and walk side by side with that of Eric's. You tend to see her being more inclined to be at your side. Eric's. Moves forward with Navarrete at your side. It does take you quite a bit of time to get to the entrance of the university. You do happen, as you go through the main thoroughfare, you begin to see the those who have not been to the Iron Hammer. You see the tents, the billowing tents, representing all of the beautiful colors that they are. And not too far after that, you see the docks that are connected to the river that runs directly through Carryhead. Any sort of freshwater fishing is done and brought to these docks, and you get that smell, not as much as you would be accustomed to, Eric's, and that of Port Merheady, but definitely the smell of a dock. You do see a very large stone bridge. It's long been established, and on the opposite side, you would see some of a mix between the Emerald Guard of the province of Nodrian and the Sierra Wardens, the actual city guard of Cariad itself. As you approach and you get across to the other side of this very vast, wide bridge, just the size of the bridge would give you the idea that the university brings in quite a bit of things to maintain, and probably not cause for their faculty and or students to may have to really deal with the other half of the city. You do see, as you are on the most eastern side of Cariad, to the west, there is a twinned bridge that crosses into that of the university side as well. So there are two exits, entry points into the university city.
Are the Emerald Guard and the Seer... Sorry, the Seer...
Seer. S-E-R-E.
Okay. Are they dressed differently? Does it look like one's just a different color version of the other, or is it like a completely different costume?
The
uniform.
The Emerald's costumes. I'm a pretend.
Cool clothes you got.
Yeah, I'm a pretend police.
I'm a mouth cop.
Are there segues in your world?
There are now.
Oh no.
Makes no chocobo. The Emerald Guard, very much golden breastplates, the green sash that goes down the side. With the Sierra Wardens, you do see a gray style cloak, not draped to one side, but very much a cape almost. Their armor a little bit more patchwork. You see a lot more leathers and lesser metals that they adorn, but no less armed. As you do approach, you would see a few of the individuals crossbows light in hand, and or a spear or a sword either at their side or I'm sorry, at the ready or at their side, but nothing. There are distinctions. You could say you would be able to discern that a trained military man is given and provided more than that of someone who is granted office within that of Cariad. But as you do approach, you would happen to see Pippaluk, you happen to see, as you look further up, you would see a mix of several individuals, one being a larger centaur-like individual. Sorry, horse cow. Horse cow. Standing, wearing a gray cloak, and on the opposite side of him, you would see a half-elven individual wearing that of the golden breastplate and the green sash. As you do approach, you're immediately halted as the centaur individual approaches and holds out his hand, not brandishing any weapon, and his armor, though patchwork, is kept rather clean.
Are we already at the university?
No, you were at the gates too, that would lead you into that of the university.
The last area that I would be able to like dip into,
Mm-hmm.
I would dip into it real quick and then like dispel my disguise.
Okay.
As the strictly square version of Doar, and just like get closer to the university.
Okay. So you do not look like Dovar.
Yes.
You
I just
look like
Rao.
regular Rao with the eyes and everything as well.
I guess the eyes, I'll just go back to what its eyes normally look like, the light blue.
Okay. And easily enough, I mean, with the hustle and bustle that is Cariad with a holiday week, easy enough for you to duck, pop, and you would pay attention to him exit as you are maintaining and monitoring your party, making sure that no one's going too far away, straying away. But yeah, pop in, pop out, and you would definitely see his change back into his normal form. I would say with this Eric's, because of the walk is long, you know that you are probably on the cusp of your spell ending.
8 hours?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was thinking disguise self, not mask of many faces. My bad.
It's a long walk.
My bad.
Hold on. I thought Mask of Many Faces is 8 hours though, right?
I thought it was
No,
disguise self at will.
It is
You
just disguise self at will. Okay,
so-
so yeah, let me.
Every hour you have to read.
All right,
Right.
so as Rao ducks off to the side,
we'll
you
just like
all right.
take a second. All right.
Again, Cariad is a rather large city.
Okay.
If Eric comes to me and does that, I'll say, I have like a bad feeling they probably have like you know how Dovar has stuff on his house, the sigils and things, the blue energy. They might have that at the university if they're like supposed to be better than him or whatever. So you might not want to.
No, that's a very good call. I don't typically come to this side of the city.
Okay.
I'll drop it
How often have you been here?
a handful of times.
Do I believe them when they say that?
Roll me an insight check.
Because my insight's the best. Oh,
That's not bad.
11.
Uh,
Your natural descent.
yeah, you believe that that seems like
the vaguest answer possible.
seems
More
to be
than
telling
once.
to
More
you
than once.
seems to be telling the truth.
Mm.
Yeah, you believe that doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. The little that you do know of Air Triangle. Oh, I love this game.
Perhaps shouldn't you hold off on that until we are closer to the university? You said it was unsafe to walk around.
Well, we're like,
Yeah,
We're there.
Okay, I thought we still had like.
I would say
blocks
this:
to go.
Route has the at least enough wisdom and intelligence to be like, this seems like a good opportunity to do this. Had he not mentioned it, oh yeah, you would have been fucked. But yeah, he has. I will say he has the intuition to be like, okay, now's the time.
Okay.
This is probably it.
But as you've crossed the bridge, you do happen to see, as you are crossing the bridge, there are a few younger, and if not older, robed individuals that seem to be exiting the university. As much as they'd like to keep all of them in the university side, the city is the city, and there are many fun things to do, especially this week of this festival. So you do happen to pass a few, and you would take notice, very much as you saw on Marceline's robes. On the left hand side, all of their robes, you would see some patch, and some of them similar than others. That representing 4 individual squares, another being that of a triangle with a
Oh no,
with a line through the top of it. No worries. Oh no, we're losing it.
we're losing our pride.
And then the other symbol, that of a I forgot what the symbol looks like.
Oh, the
so it's like they're behind you or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Triarch symbol. Man, I'm really good at this game. Best DM ever.
Can I try to stop? Can
we're running a quality ship today.
Yeah.
I try to stop someone who looks roughly of Marceline's age with the same patch that she has?
Roll me a base charisma check.
Base charisma check.
As you are in your tiefling
Tiefling.
form. Not that anything's wrong with that, but you are approaching. You're not wearing robes. You're not wearing anything that would identify you as being a wizard.
Do
So
we
this
know
demon
what-
wants to talk to me.
Yeah, so do we know the house that Marceline was in?
I don't know, do you? She wore her robes all the time. What you got, people?
Whoever Eric
What is it?
steps aside, I would like to insight check who he talks to.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. You can't. No preemptive insight checks, there, kid.
No, just like
I got you.
Yeah.
You're watching.
19.
19.
Uh-huh.
All right. Gauging within the age of Marceline, you would not be 100% sure what age Marceline is, as you have not really had conversations with Marceline.
I do though. She's 2 years younger than Grandma.
Yeah, but you're not the one looking. Anyway.
wow, metagaming.
Metagames, man. That might be disadvantage on the next roll. I don't know. You do manage to stop. Let me go to my notes here. Good lord, I was not anticipating.
Body.
A kangaroo.
Oh,
I'm stabbing every kangaroo I see. Nope.
yep.
Triggered.
Okay. You would stop a halfling male, wearing
Oh no. Oh no. Sorry.
it just went down.
Yeah. Watership
It's
down.
fine.
Best tape ever. all the best tape.
Moving
I
on.
used so
Moving
much.
forward, you see a halfling male that does happen to walk past you. Brown hair, blue eyes, looks on a path heading out of the university. You would see on his arm, his left arm, that would be the symbol of the triangle with the line across the top.
Pardon me, sir. I was hoping you could help us. We are looking for a colleague of ours that is a member of the university. Do you have a moment?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Just a spare moment. I won't take much of your time. Do you know a young lady named Marceline?
Let me. I don't really know. I mean, no, I've never heard the name at all.
All right, then I will let you carry on your day.
Thank
Just
you.
wondering. Yeah, have a nice day.
Scurries away. Do you want to insight check that conversation?
Yeah.
Sure.
Mostly like
Taking a shot in the dark. Go.
Cool. That is. That's gonna be an 8. A lot of my things are +2s. It's just a straight roll.
Nothing about that conversation seemed out of the ordinary. He seemed honest enough, but probably in some sort of hurry to get probably to either to celebrate or shop or whatever his task was. You're not sure.
Okay.
As you get across the bridge, though, you get to the other side, and you are immediately stopped. This large centaur individual approaches. No weapons visible on the person, but does move towards you and holds up a hand. Does appear to be a male centaur, long black hair, almost down to his hooves, but approaches and towers over all of you. Yeah, even stands about almost as tall as that of you, so eye level with that of Eric's. Can I help you?
Hello there. We're trying to get somewhere that someone might have known someone that we've seen.
We're looking for a friend of ours, and we're hoping we might find some information in the university. She's a student here.
That was way better.
Student here. We have many. Do you have any paperwork or anything that would help you enter into the university?
Marceline, Ergonasi, I'm assuming that's not very common here.
More common than you think.
Oh.
But no documentation. Do you have any?
We're just looking for information on her. We are not members of the university in any way, shape, or form. We are her companions, traveling companions, and arrived into the city a short time ago. And she has recently, we've recently lost track of her, and we thought maybe she had returned to the university, but we have not had any communications with her, and we just want to check on her well-being.
I'd be more than happy to take a note, possibly a description, and we can ask further within the university.
Is there anyone we could talk to that might have any further information? An administrator or...
Again, without an appointment or any kind of documentation, you would not be allowed within the city. Again, I can write this information down and pass it on to the powers that be.
What documentation will we need? Where will we go to get this sort of thing?
Some sort of writs from from someone within the university, or maybe another institution that would be aligned with the university.
Quick question. How long have you been working here?
I've been here. I've lived. As a peculiar question.
I'm actually just really interested in university. My little sister's supposed to start here at the beginning of the next school year, and I just don't know anything about this place. So I don't know if you have any background knowledge, or if there's tour guides or anything like that.
There would be no tours that I'm aware of within the city. Again, unless you know of someone that could offer you said tour. I have been here for the better part of 10 years. But no way, nothing in the way of tours.
So there's not a public access day or anything like that?
No, absolutely not. Hippoluke, as this is occurring, you do with your passive perception being what it is. I'm sorry, Eric's as well. Off to your side, as you're discussing Rao directly with this individual, you do see people that are passing by you to get in, and they appear to be presenting some sort of scroll or documentation to move in. It's looked over, almost briefly, but with enough attention to the detail of it.
Perhaps I am not understanding. We need a document in order to enter, but we cannot enter. We cannot get this document without entering.
No, there are other institutions across the lands that could be. There are many people that have gone to this university, learned people that live all across Erelaya that could send people within.
Do you have a list of them?
We just have to be vouched for. It's a very common practice.
He does
in
give you
large
this
cities.
look of this list.
She's from the north. She's not really been to large cities to experience this kind of transaction to get into a.
Their form of education isn't so institutionalized, so.
Or circular. It's confusing.
Again, the process would be either you would be vetted by someone within the university or someone outside the university that either at one point in time had taught, learned, or the like within our halls or their halls.
Well, perhaps would a pet be able to take a message
A pet?
to? And I'm going to.
I think it's perfectly reasonable for us to leave a message with this gentleman here and come back with our voucher for entering the university. I don't want to take up any more of your time.
And then the
Today.
B side of that is you said we can set an appointment of some sort.
Again, I can take your names down and present that to the headmistress, or if there's someone within the university that you would choose to have an appointment with. You have no. Aside from this student, are you familiar with any faculty that might be someone you could schedule an appointment with?
I don't think that this is important enough for the headmistress to be bothered, but some kind of records keeper or someone who is in charge of the student body.
Without any names, I would not be able to help you. So unless you have a name, I would have to bid you good day.
Yeah, sure. I'll just set an appointment for the next appropriate availability.
And to speak with whom? And he pulls out, you see, he pulls up a pen or a quill, and he's prepared to write whatever name you're going to suggest.
Is there a directory of professors by any chance that might have a expertise on the topic I have questions
I'm
about?
sorry,
we've
unfortunately, there
already
would
asked
not
for a
be
list.
a directory.
Do I know any names of anyone who works at the university?
Or perhaps.
The DC is going to be stupid, but...
Roll me an intelligence check.
Yikes. Nope. I'm just going to leave that
Was
there.
it in there?
It's on the edge. 11.
You're not familiar with anyone
Alright.
within this university.
When we went to the gala, we saw a woman. Our benefactor pointed her out as important. Red, similar to my friend here, red skinned.
What?
Make a roll here to see who he can figure out.
No,
She's
she's
fine.
I'm sorry. There are many people of his ilk within this university. You have to be more specific.
one that would be important enough to attend the gala from the other night.
The only one I could think of would be the headmistress herself.
The headmistress, then.
You would choose to schedule an appointment with the headmistress of the university. Is that correct?
Yes.
Sure.
And
Yes.
your names.
Pepaluk Afbionanumi.
He writes that down with the best of his ability.
There are 2 dots over the. Thank you.
And just you would be meeting with the headmistress?
I believe my companions would like to as well.
Eric's Winter.
Eric's Winter.
Roy Couture.
Roy Kotor. You can roll me a deception check there, Mr. Kotor.
Oh, shit.
It's
I'm gonna
Winter.
use. Yeah, I'm gonna use. Oh, okay, that's way
So
better.
much
21.
21. He looks at Mr. Kotor. And this meeting, once it is established, I would just need to is where can word be sent to you when the meeting date and time is established?
Oh, we are currently.
You're good.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it.
Oh,
Just
we
do
are
it.
currently staying at the Wild Hunt or Wild Ritual. I keep calling it the Wild Hunt. The Wild Ritual.
Wild Ritual. He writes that. He jots it down. Very well. I will get this. This will make its way to the headmistress's desk. I will. I will suggest to you that it may not be as quickly as you would like, but we will start the process for you.
What's the elf's reaction during this whole conversation? Because we've just been talking to the centaur.
She is. Oh, the elf, as in.
Because there was an elf and a centaur.
I think the centaur just approached us. That was
Okay.
Yeah, the elf,
person
the
that-
Emerald Guard. Okay. Yeah. At this point, yeah, the Emerald Guard. Roll me a perception check.
It's gonna be 12. Disadvantage. Go ahead and say that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
4.
4. Not really paying too much mind to you. Seems to be dealing with anyone who's exiting the university.
Okay.
Not really stopping them, but just kind of taking a note, like, okay, that's who that is. This is who this is, but not really writing names down or anything.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for allowing us to take up so much of your time. We know you're very busy, but thank you for doing us that favor.
Anytime, please. Have a great day.
All right,
You as well. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Val, Seer Warden Val.
All right. Again, thank you for your time, Mr. Val.
And we'll say, as you see, he turns around again. Brown fur, hair, black tail, very well maintained, kept. As he seems to be a very strong and stout individual. Spins around and makes his way. Eric's and Pipaluk, you would take notice. The document is handed to another individual and notes are had, so you get the sense that your request is being taken just as seriously as any other. So
I've not seen one such as him before. A body of a man, or a body of a horse.
Yeah, that's. I've heard about it, but never saw it myself.
Yeah. Let me see. I would say because Rao and let me see. It would not be you, Pipaluk. Are you proficient in history? Rao, you can make a history check for me.
All right.
You got this. Big numbers.
That's a natural one.
Small numbers.
You've not seen.
Okay.
I mean, you've heard of. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but you do not know the story behind anything
Exactly.
related to that.
Does it look like a natural? Because I've not seen another centaur before, so does it look like a natural combination, or there's something like unsettling or unnatural about it?
Maybe a wisdom check.
Yeah.
Are you trying to see if he's Frankenstein?
Yep.
Oh no.
Nope.
Good lord.
That's gonna be a 2.
A 2. It does strike you as odd. You're not sure. I mean, there was no like defined lines. You didn't see any like stitching on him or anything like that. It appears as normal as, for example, it appears as normal as that of a talking bear.
Oh, okay.
That's what you can gauge from it. As you spin around, Velafera, very very quiet, just kind of gauging what's going on here. We'll say with.
As soon as we get like 100 feet away, I'm like, oh shit! Didn't you bury somebody here? Wouldn't you have known people here?
Yes, there was the I did have ritual within.
Did you
Val,
did you deliberately
sometimes.
withhold the names of someone who might help us?
That person is no longer of this world.
Do you know any others who might have been part of the staff inside the university?
I was not. I was brought here under the behest of Dovavar to give this ritual. The tabaxi that I helped pass on, or move on, ascend, requested one of the daughters, an oracle like myself, to come here and help with this. Dovavar had made me aware, and I was escorted to the university under the name of this tabaxi.
Can I? Because you said there's packages moving in and out.
Yeah, there's a
supplies.
few carts that move within. Like there's one. At one point, you have to definitely. You're not pushed off the side, but you definitely make and give wide berth to a cart moving in the city, bringing random supplies.
Okay. Is there anyone or anything with like a label or like a business name on the side of it, so I can just like keep that in mind?
Roll an investigation check. You're looking for a particular thing here.
I would like to insight check Velafera, just because I know like an hour ago she was like spiteful to that woman.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure she wasn't savage.
Yeah, you can roll that insight check for that.
Natural 20 on the invite.
Natural 20. The best I think you can DC here would be. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, we'll say that.
And specifically more if they're like wearing a uniform or not. That's what I'm looking for. Is like a very official looking company, not like just some guy who's like dropping off fish or something like that.
Like, what is it called? Hunks Who Haul or whatever that moving company is.
Yeah, like I'm not looking for some guy in a t-shirt. I'm talking about like
Hunks and junk.
Hunks and
yeah,
Junk.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're hunking.
Oh god.
Nope.
I stopped.
I'm glad.
I'll let everybody know. Dovar mentioned something. There's like a legal embassy nearby. Maybe they have the power to allow passage through if they need something. It's probably too late today, but if it comes to it tomorrow, we can try that.
What time does business stop? And I look up toward the sun, which is like...
Usually like around dinner. Unless it's like a bar or something, then they're usually open into the night. But I doubt a bartender would have access to a university like that.
You would see a cart full of crates, specifically labeled the Floating Quill.
Ooh.
With your natural 20, you would know that is you would have seen this throughout, as they would have exported as far south as Continuar. This is a vineyard, and it's based out of the elven city of Aprismwali.
Ah.
Okay. So I'm
You
completely
would see
wrong.
the Floating Quill and a almost stamped on maybe some sort of paint. You would just see a quill.
Like a stencil.
Mm-hmm.
And is the guy wearing are these like being like a carriage driver, or is it like someone like?
There was a carriage driver, and with your natural 20, there's a carriage driver, and then there was a seer warden seated next to it as he is guiding or ushering this, chaperoning this carriage within.
Is the carriage driver like in some sort of uniform, or is he just like wearing normal?
He's wearing normal clothes. You get the sense that is why the seer warden is escorting him in.
So I want to try to remember detail. If it's another role, it's fine. I want to notice the details of the Sierra Warden's uniform.
Easily enough, I believe. Easily enough. I would say that. I mean, hence, your disguise self would be really crappy. I want to be this guy. No, not so much. I can't remember what he looks like. What is his face? It's David Duchovny. David Duchovny. No, I don't know. Your insight check on Bellafair?
Yeah, it was 19.
19.
Yeah.
She seems to be honest enough, truthful enough, actually very truthful in her statement, as with what had occurred before. At the half-elven woman's house, at the apothecary, Bellafair is very much shaking off a lot of incidences. You get the sense that what she was attempting to do was completed. She's moved past that. But yes, as you're exiting, you take note of the cart that's moving in. And the rest of you continue on. As Bellafair is still by the side of Eric's.
Looking away from Bellafair after asking her that, I will say to Rao, they said, well, this is the city, it's mostly for the university, so perhaps there are places around that those who go there will gather that aren't, and a gesture to where the school is standing. You spoke of bars or maybe built like other social circles that we could talk to?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know what the trajectory of a wizard is after graduating. I mean, magic always creates convenience no matter where it goes, so they could just get a job anywhere else.
Dovar would know.
Yeah, but off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. Did you have a plan B on where Marceline might be? She didn't really hit me as the drinking kind when we were traveling.
I do have a plan B. I didn't want to use it until plan A failed, which I don't believe will get an audience with the headmistress for a missing student. We can go to the Cassidy slums, which is not pleasant, but possibly necessary.
Well, all my gold's back at the Wild Ritual, so if we get robbed, that's fine by me.
I would recommend leaving most things you care about and only carrying essentials.
Is this a place of danger? we perhaps be better armed?
Sorry.
No more armed than usual, but leave anything you don't want to lose behind.
Well, fair enough. We can stop by the Wild Ritual and exchange some things.
I mean, I don't really have... I mean, my gold, I suppose, but I'm jaded enough not to leave it behind.
I don't have anything. I just take the string of seeds that I have, and I just tuck them inside my armor.
I love it. It's like Debo coming. I'm just gonna tuck my chain in.
Goodness.
Yeah, let me drop my pack off up there. Because I'm carrying my messenger bag with all my stuff in it.
Man purse.
Your merce.
Yeah.
It's a satchel.
It's a satchel.
A satchel.
So you make your way back to the Wild Ritual.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll say this: by the time you get back to the Wild Ritual, you're probably pushing the 3 o'clock hour at this point. It's taking you a bit of time to get from the almost the front of the of Cariad to middle discussion had back to Wild Ritual. You're hitting the mid-afternoon or late afternoon ish. But you get back, Raoul runs inside, or all of you would abscond in the interior.
Also grab 25 gold so I can have some just whatever change on me.
Right.
And I will tap him on the shoulder and be like, make sure you have your skin with you.
Oh yeah. But all my like,
it's like, what?
all my like,
Doppelganger! What is the skin you speak of?
all my weird stuff, like my tent and like the bone pipes and vial of dragon blood and stuff like that, I'll just leave that back.
Okay. And you would see Velifair taking suit. Some of her finer silver, even her rings, as she notices all of you kind of leaving. She pulls off her rings. She leaves behind her moon touch sword, and would see her pull out a sickle from behind that was usually kept behind her draped cloak. And she does check it and sticks it back behind her. She does have that at the ready, and she will bring her mace with her in case things get real.
I will have my armor, my quarterstaff. I will also bring my bow and my net because I'm not sure what kind of trouble we're going to be getting into.
Okay.
I'll actually resummon my sword and fasten it to my side so they know I'm armed at least.
Okay.
And I like to just pop my head into where Dolivar is.
You go over to his. It's you make your way over to the house. You immediately direct. Oh, he's actually working in his shop next door.
Okay.
And you would know that is the one that is downstairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will go into the downstairs of the Wild Ritual.
You knock on the door. It does take a bit. You see the little slot open up. Oh, opens the door. And you would see roll a perception check.
It's gonna be 15.
15?
Yeah.
You see residuals of some sort of magic that was being cast. Dovar, not standing as short as he was the night prior, stands at his full height now. And he looks about, oh, Miss Bjorn knew me. Pleasure.
I just wanted to let you know, Eric's will be escorting us to the Cassidy slums, but we're looking to get a message from the headmaster of the university soon. If you could just take that for us, that would be appreciated.
Absolutely. If she sends it this way, I'll make sure that you do get it.
Thank you.
Cassidy slums. Anything? Is everything okay?
Are we all there or just...
No, I think she's Pibble made the initiative, so you guys are like, all right, let me get this off. And you see Velifair take like the necklace off Navarre and put that, he's got like this silver chain that he wears.
Bougie ass leopard.
Hey,
Jaguar.
Yeah, what she's saying is she's actually from Saudi Arabia.
Sorry. Yes. Eric's is very concerned about Marceline, and he believes that she might be there.
I would express to you again, Marceline can take care of herself, and she has for quite some time. If she is within Cassidy slums, that's where I found her when she was a child. So her second home. she makes her way back, and we've had discussions about her long-term absences, but she causes no trouble and brings no ill to the house. I'm not deterring you from looking further into this, but she's an adult and has managed to take care of herself very much like you for a good part of her life.
I understand. Eric just seems very concerned, and I'd rather us all go with as many as we can.
I can only urge you to be safe.
These Cassidy slums, is there somewhere that she particularly enjoyed?
I personally do not know. We've had discussions, and she tends to keep those secret from me. Where she tends to hang out, so to speak. I don't ask too many questions. Again, she is an adult. If she were a bit younger, maybe I would have more say in those matters. But I do not ask many questions of her. Just that she does return, and she respects the rules of my house.
I understand. Well, thank you for your time. We should be back hopefully before this evening.
Again, please be safe. I'm in the process of trying to get you some more work in the time being, but as of right now, I'm waiting for correspondence.
Travel outside the city would be appreciated. Not that the city isn't useful, but
Is everything well?
I would just prefer to be out on the road again.
And if memory serves, this is
Yep.
Dofar is familiar that you fell, or has that not been?
I don't think that's
expressed?
been told to him yet. Nope.
Then this conversation is exactly the way it should be. Yep. Yes.
Oops. Yikes.
Oh well. Again, please be safe, and I look forward to seeing you later today.
I'm gonna talk to Eric. And one question as I see people coming back. The slums are they in the same direction as that one cat forest that we saw? Like, can we double the trip or no?
No.
I don't think so. They're in
The
opposite directions.
the garden,
Yeah.
the Weeping Fables,
Yeah.
is only a few blocks away from Dovar's, whereas Cassidy Slums is almost the exact opposite point on the eastern side of Cariad.
The gardens is going to be the same trip as the siphon. Those are in the same area, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Out of character.
Out of character. You're good.
oh,
We're learning.
all right. So never mind.
We're
No,
building
they're-
maps
I
here.
say telepathically from downstairs.
Go. They're in two separate directions. It's going to be two separate trips. I believe we should save the garden for tomorrow.
Then if this place is as dangerous as y'all keep on saying, let's see if we can get in and out of there before night falls.
That would be ideal.
Alright, and then typically would have walked up by then.
Okay. So, all of you prepare. Now, Velafera and Navarre are look to you for the nod to head out, and you make your way.
I'm gonna leave the gift jacket
Okay.
here so it doesn't get ruined.
Okay. Are you leading this expedition?
Yes.
Okay. And as you follow Erickson, you see someone who appears to have knows how to navigate their way through the city, passing through, ducking down certain side streets, knowing that maybe that there would be less people in this vicinity. You generally get the idea that Eric's has been here before.
You moved through the city with a grace. How did you learn to navigate it so well?
I've been here a handful of times
Oh,
in the past.
for what reason? You weren't familiar with Dovavar.
No, my queen takes me on many different paths in many different places.
You've spoken about your queen before. Is that similar to what Velafera does in a gesture? You seem to have similar aspects to your deities.
Perhaps on similar paths, but different purposes, yes.
Very similar paths.
Is there anything ominous in that?
those comments. Like,
Or was it like a winky smoochy
yeah,
smoochy?
very
right?
similar. Yikes.
Not really.
Similar paths.
Roll me an insight check.
Yep.
Sort of shit.
Cool. This is gonna be a fail.
Nothing,
-2.
Nothing ominous. Nothing ominous about that statement.
Okay.
Just, I mean, Velafera does have an air of creepiness about her on certain when she does speak about certain things. So
I forgot to say, this time I'm gonna take a different form, knowing that we're gonna go to a shadier part of town when I use the hat, and I take the form of a like 6'5", grayish greenskin half orc, but he kind of looks like Hulk in Endgame because like he also wears glasses,
Oh my gosh.
and like just like a rough spun tunic and leather pants, and also like a leather jacket on top of that.
now, just so I'm aware, this is
Bruce. Yeah.
Thank you. I was reading over that. I was reading over that just the other day. So yeah, that is,
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So you make your way, and as you enter into that of the Cassidy slums, you see the substantial change in color, light, scenery, all together. Almost very much looking that of old, worn newspaper, like Browning newspaper, something that maybe has long lasted. But every each one of these houses, we'll say, they tend to have look like they have like sunk a bit over time. You know, we'll say windows that probably as you walk past come up to your knee, and you're like, but at one point you're like, that could have been eye level. The city does appear to be very old.
Does the ground seem to be mushier than normal? Is that why these houses are sinking?
Roll me an investigation check.
And is there like an odd or creepy air to it, or is it just like old and tired?
What do you got? 14. Nothing. I mean, it's dirt. It's dusty. Walking from the cobblestone that is the rest of the city and onto this radiant dirt path. Nothing about it. It's not. I mean, it's a little. I mean, in certain areas, you're like, this is still wet. It hasn't rained in a bit. That's weird. Maybe the snow. I don't know. But there is. But nothing about the ground seems, with your 14, seems out of the ordinary. Your question was?
What's the general air of this area? Is it creepy, like eyes on the back of my neck, or is it just old and kind of worn and tired? Are there any people about? That's a second question.
Maybe perception check. We'll just try to we'll cover that full spectrum.
Yeah. It's gonna be 3.
3.
I know.
The bustling of people
Great
throughout,
time.
even the people within, they tend to, even their clothing is almost identifies them as being from here. More dark browns, browns and tans, leathers, even like white shirts that maybe not so white anymore, probably stained from sweat. Or
So this is
just
the practical side of the city, then.
very much so.
That's it.
So
but
the bougie side
Nice.
over there.
even with you
Way of
guys
putting
taking the initiative to maybe kind of not so much you three, you with your doing the disguise self. Eric's the way he carries himself. You definitely don't. No one's like really sticking out as being like they got money. Even people look. I mean, what you wear, you look. You don't look like you come from. You do. You look different, substantially different from everyone here, but nothing that says, "Oh, we should totally rob this person."
My furs are not designer.
I think we'll say the only one that maybe sticks out a little bit is Velafera. She did take the initiative, but even her flowing like silks and stuff that she does wear over her armor maybe gives her a little bit of disadvantage. But in the general area, there are some street kids that run past.
Are they dressed up?
More or less barefoot. Yeah.
Costume, I mean, the celebration.
No.
Okay.
Nope. Yeah, and you get you get that. Not seeing anything related to the Knights of Despair.
I'll push Velafera more to the center of. If we're walking like in a line, I want to be like flanking, so she's kind of in the middle.
Give me a base charisma check, as you're kind of hockey checking her. No, you're hurting her. Yeah.
Yeah, 18.
Okay. She accepts it for what she starts to get the idea that. Okay. Yes. And you don't do it with as much force as just maybe a bit of, nods and hints to like, okay, maybe how about you just move here a bit. And,
I'm also fake 6'5" right now.
as you make your way in, you are in the Cassidy slums.
Can I try to catch one of the kids? Like, not like tackle them or
Got
anything,
one.
just
What,
like
how do
kinda
you- yeah, what do you
catch
say?
an elbow, and bend down and slip him a silver. I need some information.
About what?
First, I'm looking for a friend. She is of gray skin and gray loyalty.
Pauses for a minute. Make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Pipalook.
At the end of the description, I'm going to add on to it because it's like super vague.
Mhm.
Long black hair, parted down the middle, pointed ears, marblish gray stare, freckle on the shoulder. Because she wears the thing.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage with the extra description. As this conversation is happening, Pipalook, you notice the hand of the child as it's listening to Eric speak. It's just moving ever so quietly, just beyond the cloak of Eric's.
Grab his wrist and I like kind of squat down. You shouldn't take what doesn't belong to you.
I wasn't taking anything.
I think you were. You shouldn't take things that don't belong to you, otherwise they might take offense.
I was just answering this guy's question.
Take a step back, please.
He takes a step back.
Was it like Oliver Twist young or like preteen douchebag?
But he will probably say just from the look at him, he looks about. He's human, blonde hair, dirty blonde hair, and just looks filthy from head to toe. Probably 12, 13 at best. But his hand,
asshole.
But he takes a step back. He's like,
Does he look hungry or does he look like malfed?
Nourished.
There it is.
No.
I mean, not that you can tell. I mean, he seems dirty.
I'll slip him another silver.
What was your persuasion check before you
16.
start dropping extra money?
16.
16. He gives you a head nod or a cocked head. As he gets this quick side eye to the one who discouraged his slight.
Extracurriculars.
Extracurriculars.
I ain't seen that person, but I mean, if you're looking for the gray, you want to go that way. And he points to that would be the northeast side.
Mm-hmm. Is that the general direction of?
Mm-hmm. And you would even see as he points in that direction, the centerpiece would be that of the pen and the sword, and it splits into three parts. Pen and the sword off the side, and a major road that heads off to your right hand side, one that goes directly in front of you, that is just beside the pen and the sword, and then there's one to the far, we'll say south side. But he points to the one that leads to the northeast.
Thank you.
Northwest.
I slip him a gold and say, "Forget our faces."
Yeah, flips the coin.
Yeah.
You got it, dude. And he runs away.
The Grey, is that what Marceline's people are called?
We'll talk about it later. This is not the place to talk about that. I will inform you about that.
That child was trying to steal from you.
They often do.
Is that the danger that we are facing here?
I wouldn't call it danger. That particular.
Wouldn't call it danger either. I was expecting some sort of confrontation, not a child.
I'm gonna say that's more just the price of information.
I'm gonna look around for any other threats, because I haven't seen any, and this is supposed to be 4 or 5 people now have cautioned me on the Cassidy slums.
Perception check.
Oh no.
But the other one's a 17.
Oh,
17.
Nice.
17.
Yeah, it looks like a nat 20 on the perception check. By the way.
All right, so 17. Your perception checks as you begin to look around, you would see, even in the hustle, it is not as exaggerated as the rest of the city. Again, there's no people celebrating anything really. You see a few carts on the side of the street, random vegetable vendors and things of that nature. It does appear that business does occur here, and life is, as even though it's called the slums, it's still, people are still trying to make money and do for them. But nothing is catching your eye as anybody paying attention to you. The one thing that you do notice, though, on each corner of the 3 main streets, you see on one side you see 4 almost looks like fangs painted gray. You would see, I'm sorry, I thought I had my, so it's right in front of me. You see that, something of looks like a pig's head painted blue directly in front of you. And then off to the side you would see, in a brown-like paint, looks like some sort of badger-like creature, or a wolverine or something, that is painted on the corner of each of these main streets.
Looking around, I'll just say, business seems no different here than in the other parts of the streets. The children, their skin is clear. I don't understand why.
In larger cities, there are often divisions between class, race, etc. This is, people live here and they do what they do so they can survive. It might not always seem dangerous on the outside, but...
So this is the snootiness that you were talking about?
No.
Other way around.
People learns a word.
I did. I learned snooty.
Oh boy.
There's a phrase my mom used to say when I was really young, when I used to act out. The blade of grass that stands tallest gets cut. Sometimes the crime you commit can be done a little more inconspicuously. And that way you can ensure that it keeps happening.
We are not going to assist with any crimes while we are here.
No, we are looking for Marceline. That is what we're here for.
What I'm saying is, there's often, I don't want to say the phrase, so there's often more than what you can see.
More than meets the eye?
Yeah, I was trying not to say that.
Yeah. You're good, bro. I like it. I like it. Whatever, man. We all grew up. We all grew up watching the same shit. It's cool.
I actually don't get the reference.
Oh, man. Anyways.
But yeah.
That's Amber right there, not Pippa Luke.
It's both.
Yeah, I just say, they might be doing stuff right now, but they're keeping it to themselves. Because it's often best for them to do that if they want to keep on their activities.
Eric, why are you the one that's familiar with this sort of world?
You ever heard of Port Merhetti?
No.
Good.
It's a vile place.
Yes.
Have I ever heard of Port Manatee?
That's a good question, Silver Spoon. Have you?
No, I mean, roll me history check. It's low DC. It's, I mean, if Velafera's heard of it, then...
History though?
Yeah.
11.
What?
No.
Yeah, I got +4 on
Oh,
history.
dang.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was
Hey,
one.
hey, mind your business.
No, it's a 7.
Okay.
Yes, you have heard of Port Merhetti. Obviously, your mom and dad definitely were, during your discussion, maybe where you were heading,
Considered
that was not even close to considering it.
Oh, okay.
They
This
let
is the
you
place don't go. Yeah.
almost were giving you explicit instructions as not to go to Port Merhetti.
Okay.
It's not a place you want to go to.
Okay.
Here's Merhetti. Stay away from this area.
When I left home, left being a loose term here, I wound up in Port Mirhetti, and to survive, like we've been talking about recently, you have to adapt. And so many of my contacts and knowledge lie in this type of world. It's not necessarily a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But it is what it is.
I'd love to hear more of your story when you have more free time.
Let's find Marceline first, and then we can
Did
discuss
that seem
that.
flirty?
Oh my
Roll me an
God.
insight check.
That seems salty.
Too.
You don't know.
You don't know.
So, leading the path, or
Yes.
where are you heading?
The pen and the sword.
Okay, right to the pen and the sword. As you make your way to this place, you get it is rather full in this late afternoon, early evening. A lot of people in here.
The early bird crowd.
Definitely the early bird crowd. And you would see, yeah, there are the older people of the Cassidy slums within dining. You would see a half-elven male individual immediately stop, screech. Table three, four.
Did we see any like plates flying around so we see what kind of food they're serving?
Yeah, passive perception. You look about. Very much family style. Looks to be to put it in like in real life. It's an Italian. It's very much Italian family style, man. It's.
I will say, holy fuck, is that spaghetti?
Yes.
Table for four.
Yes.
Table for four. And he. Hold on. You see him dart away, and he busts in the table real quick to get it prepared for you guys.
Where in the restaurant is he busting? Like, how far away from the door? And is there
5
everyone
feet,
next?
10
Okay,
feet.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look to Eric and be like, we haven't eaten all day. We're just walking around. I'm a
Fine,
big hungry
we
orc.
can-
Yes, Navarre could eat.
We'll eat first. That's fine. It is good food.
And he ushers back over real quick. Eric, you would see behind the bar or where the individuals would eat, just a single person. You would see the human female Janice, blonde-haired woman. She just kind of takes notice of you and looks away.
I don't acknowledge, other than like making eye contact and then just moving along.
Pipalook, you would see this as well.
Guys, you effective person.
Do you know her?
Right this way.
I'm not in
Let's eat
charge.
first.
Table.
Just like quietly, let's eat first, and I will explain.
I understand your caution, but I am quickly reaching a limit.
Here is not the place. I caution you, it's not the place.
Then you should have
Please.
told us before we entered.
Very fair.
And I'll follow the
Menu.
gentleman.
Wow.
Yeah. Within minutes, drinks are brought to the table. Just water to start, and you are. What would you like? We generally do a family style, so if you could agree upon one thing, we could bring that, or we could bring it over several dishes to
Do
the table.
you have roasted meat?
We do. We actually have a lamb that is currently roasting.
That sounds delicious, yes?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well. And I'll be back. And he gone.
So is this the place that? Yeah.
So proud of herself.
So,
I get how this-
Pipalook is so excited.
and I'm gonna spend the next 15 minutes till this guy gets back explaining they better make it like Grandma used to make with the marinara.
What you do is you dig a
Here we
hole in
go.
the earth, and you lay the body in the earth, and you cover it, and you make seal fight on top of it.
And then I start explaining to Pipalook how to properly make marinara sauce and just whatever that is. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Can I scan her?
Yeah, perception check.
a fruit that is grown on a vine? I don't understand.
Raw explains it perfectly. I don't know how to make marinara sauce.
16.
16.
Tomatoes are not found in the north.
16. You look about. Janice does. We'll say almost every minute or two looks at the table, just wondering what it is that you're up to. But no one else is really paying attention to you.
While they're engrossed in whatever this is, I'm gonna get up, push away from the table, and just say I'm gonna go get something other than water. Would anyone like anything?
Wine.
Is there like any sort of like clockwork here that tells what time it is?
Nope.
I don't know. Is it in bad taste to start drinking? We're on a mission. We're trying to find someone. I don't want anything else. It's fine.
I'm fine, thank you.
I'll approach the bar.
Okay, you walk up to the bar. Yeah.
2 glasses of wine, please.
Right away, she spins around with her back to you. She's back so soon. Apparently you liked the food.
Food is very good here. Is her baby with her? Or no? We're also looking for the good fights as well, but I understand there being more of us that you might not have room.
Awfully green at the table, though. Are they ready for such a thing? Here's your wine.
Thank you. I take a sip of one of the glasses.
It's good. Sweet.
No. I think so, but who knows? My judgment sometimes.
You know the rules, bringing people down there, that's,
I'm responsible for it.
in more ways than one, yes.
Yep.
So, you're finishing your meal first?
Yes. They insist on eating.
I will wait for you to exit the table, and you know where to meet.
Very well.
Bread?
Yes, please.
She gives you a loaf
Just
to take to the table.
2 glasses of wine, like, in the fingers.
Server carry.
Yeah. Back to the table.
Okay.
I give Valifera her wine.
Say a fine meal, braised, roasted, lamb is brought. Sauce is.
I rolled a 14.
It is impeccably done. It is some of the best you've had this far north of Continuar.
Why are they having a restaurant in here? It's crazy. They should put it on one of the better sides of town.
And you definitely would see around you the geriatric contingent of Cassidy slums just slurping and slopping away at their family style meals. While your meal is had, drinks are had, and you eventually finish. With that, you stand and exit that of. And I'm sorry. We'll say for the meal in its entirety, I would say that for the lamb, say 8 silver pieces.
Okay.
I have 5 silver pieces, so I'll contribute that. What else?
I'll take the rest.
I'll say, don't forget we have to tip the waiter. He was pretty cool.
And when you see him,
Nice job.
I mean, there's other waiters in here, but the gentleman, the half-elven male, is just darting back and forth.
He cracks me up. He said he's a dad. He's got some pretty good jokes.
Making your way outside,
Nope.
you stand
Going
outside the pen and the sword. What is it that you?
Going around the side, but before coming around the back, I just want to turn back to the rest of them. So, restaurant, other than the restaurant, it is also a bar. I want you to know that all of that is, well, it's real, but it's fake, not real. If that makes any sense, sorry.
It doesn't.
It's a front. It's to conceal what you're about to see. And like you said, I should have warned you beforehand. Yes, I do know those people. I've been here before. They are familiar with me, and they have trusted me to bring you into this situation. I am responsible for your lives, the lives of other people in there, at the price of my own freedom.
Will we be safe?
If we keep our heads down and look for Marceline.
Why would you think she'd be in a place like this? This sounds far too dangerous.
Well, Dobovars, this is where she was when she was a child, but she...
Not a criminal place.
There's a certain level of criminal in everyone who lives in the Cassidy slums.
There's also such a thing as a dumb law.
Would that be said for people that visit the Cassidy slums?
Yes and no.
Eric has sworn to honesty while he's a part of our group. This is bordering on that.
She is a part of a group that uses this facility as their base of operations, so to speak.
These Greys.
The Grey Fangs.
Does that sound like a creature?
Grey Fangs is correct.
Thank you.
Does it sound like a creature?
Yeah. But I remember the symbol,
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to do I have a frame of reference?
We'll say roll me an intelligence check.
I giggle a little bit at the idea of little scared Marceline working with a game.
15.
No,
Look,
really, like
The Grey Fangs, but the closest thing you could probably attribute it to, wolves.
Okay.
Okay, no, but like really, what is she doing here? That's pretty funny, but
I mean, you all underestimate her, I feel. I don't know her very well, but if she's a part of this, there's far more to her than you might know.
ew.
Stupid game.
Do you have wine? What?
So with that conversation had,
Pretty
you
dope
eventually make
food.
your way around to the side of the,
Yes.
we'll say immediately as you do, Velifer does make a snide comment about it being, this is an alley. This is gross.
Not gonna argue with that.
And you would actually, the rest of you would see, stepping out from the back entrance of this, the back exit of the Pen of the Sword, you would see the human female who was seated behind the main counter, a cafeteria-style counter, make her way, standing directly down the center of the aisle, waiting for all of you to approach. She says, and this is it, right?
This is it.
And you've explained to them.
I have.
She looks at all of you, even fellow Ferret. Okay. Welcome. She walks over to the storm doors, cellar doors, and lurches them open. After you.
Thank you, Miss Janice. And I'll descend the stairs.
I'll take the rear.
Okay. Where are you positioned?
Okay.
Velifer is right behind you.
I'll be looking at Rao, but I'm just kind of keeping my eye on her because she's going to be at our backs.
Okay. You peek back to her, and she just seems to be waiting as you make your way down. Rao, the last one.
As she closes the door, I'll use my Eldritch Sight. Is there anything peculiar about the door or no?
Eldritch Sight. No, nothing. As you peer back, look, immediately the once was light goes dark. Your dark visions pick up. Piblook, you are in the dark.
Is there no way to light the way?
Oh, sorry. I cast light on.
Right from the hand?
No, I'll do it from the pommel of the sword.
Okay. Which is very weird, as the person that had been casting a lot of shadowy spells. I'm sorry, I have to change this. My music thing went total.
Yeah, this is really upbeat.
Yeah, very upbeat. I apologize. Oh no,
You want to
not
jog?
Ooh, can it be the monster song? I like that one.
that. Oh, we're not playing that right
Oh.
now. The light is cast out of your hand, and you would be able to sword out of the sword, casting now 20 feet, and you would see the stairs that ascend down. 40 to 50 to 60 feet down as you eventually make your way to a plateau and march up to two large wooden double doors with iron banding on them. Eric's leading the way. You walk up to the door and press it, budge it open, and as you do, it very familiarly knocks into something. Immediately,
Try to do it just a little harder this time, just like a.
Roll me a strength check.
Right.
Roll me a strength check, there, killer.
Mm-hmm. +0. Natural 20.
Yeah, you see Eric's hand kind of and push the door and knocks. You just all hey, and you see this meaty hand of this orc open the door and look out. Why so hard?
Sorry, sir. I apologize.
How many?
4 of us this evening. 5 if you count the jaguar.
He looks about all of you, and you just see this mangled face. Definitely, nose has been broken, cauliflowered ears, but very much looking more orc than half, but definitely all the features. Large jaw, which appears to have been realigned a few times, and not wearing a shirt, only some sort of leather-type pants. But looks about no trouble.
As always.
On in, and he opens it up, and as soon as he opens the door, you immediately hit with this pulse of music, this wave of just sound and smells that almost knock you off your feet. You are very familiar with this. Raul, you've been to some parties?
Baby's first nightclub?
Yeah. Hippoluk, this is, you are very much...
Baby's first nightclub.
Yeah. Villafera does not seem too affected by it. But she follows in. As you do make your way in, just over your head you see these almost like a shelf or something, but you hear something scurry across, scutter very fast above your head. Tables all aligned. Mostly they appear to be repurposed, like large, like wine barrels that have been flipped over and made into these tables. People drinking, carousing. Off to the side, a large wraparound bar with.
I'm just like, man, where is Roy when you need him?
With all you can see now, you see at the bar. You don't see a bartender, but you definitely see the top of someone's head behind the bar. You presume that is the bartender. Just running back and forth, serving drinks. You just see a hand pop up in some sort of ale or libation at the top, and then you see this big, large guardrail. We'll say about 20 feet away from you, as you see positioned at the top on some sort of makeshift platform that is hanging from the ceiling. This band that is playing, human individual, human female at the very top with her group playing beside her. And do you make yourselves put yourselves further into this room?
Is it a little less busy because it's a little
very
earlier
busy.
in the
It's
evening?
very
No?
busy.
Okay.
It's and
All
you
day.
yeah, all day, 24/7.
Real.
This is the place to be.
When the door immediately opens, I'll actually take a step back and like scramble my bag for my they're normally keep myself warm with my earmuffs just to put them on and just drown out, cut out some of that noise.
Okay.
Because it's just
Otter, your baby seal earmuffs.
they're beaver.
Yikes.
I'd rather be baby seal.
Nope,
Beaver.
it's a beaver.
Beaver
I
muffs.
skin that beaver and I have him in my ears.
Oh my god.
What just happened? Stop.
Who's driving this car? Who's driving this car? Anyway,
Nope.
so
No one's in the car. It's just rolling down the hill, and we're running beside it.
so the earmuffs are on,
Yep.
and
Yeah, I
you've
need
entered in.
earmuffs.
Where are you guys going? Are you trying to stick together? How are you maneuvering?
Yeah, I just like put a hand on Eric's shoulder and just follow.
We're doing like the train through the bar where everyone's got like a hold of the person in front of them.
Oh man, you guys look like tourists. Everybody stick together.
I am like definitely look around and make sure like no one looks threatening or is paying attention to us or anything. 'Cause, like,
Perception check.
don't like this situation.
I
at
look
all.
around to see if we can find Marceline immediately.
Okay, you can. You're rolling at a disadvantage.
Yeah, because it's crazy.
I would say if he's looking, you can just make it a straight roll, reroll. You see, he's looking about to.
15.
15?
Yeah.
You, as you're peeking about, you two, Rao, I mean, you're looking for Marceline, you're looking to see if anybody's watching you. There is someone watching you. Immediately seated at a table by himself, appears to have a drink at his side. You see a very clean-shaven, brown-haired individual, hair parted to one side, wearing a fine jacket and a ascot situation with a pin at the center. Back, feet up, knee-high black leather boots with the bottom looking filthy, looking pretty dirty. But this human individual is staring at your party directly. Rao, what you see and hear with the 15, we'll say that's doubling up, is you hear this squeaky, almost shrill voice that's yelling, hanging off the rail. Robes open, and you see what appears to be some sort of like we'll say bikini style top, and just yelling at this pit down below. Come on! You see Marceline, hair disheveled, yelling into this pit, and as you peer over to look at what's going on in the pit, these two individuals are beating the shit out of each other, and she is screaming. And surrounding her, you would see notes. You see a small, raven-like individual, a halfling, a human, and a half-orc. And not too far behind, you would see a very androgynous, maybe female, not sure, individual that is not yelling, but just kind of watching Marceline.
Okay, so bird person, half-orc, halfling,
Human.
and human.
Mm-hmm.
And is the bird person similar to the Kenku that we already saw, or?
It's hard from this distance. It's hard to gauge, but you definitely get those features of it looking. The feathers are black, and the beak is very much similar, but you're not for certain if they are identical or not.
Okay.
But yes, as you look about, eyes locked on your group, and as you look, you catch eyes with this individual, and he immediately sees you, and he smiles.
I'm just gonna pause for 1 second. Just, I guess, like pulling our line to a stop for. Oh, run the route. We have the tourist chain going on, and just like hold my quarterstaff closer and just kind of like, I see you and don't fuck with us, please.
Okay. As you
intimidating as it can be in this
as you
situation.
make that gesture, you
Oh,
see
God.
his hand raise up into the air, and as soon as it does, it's like everything pauses. The music stops. The guys down in the pit stop fighting. Everything just goes quiet, and you hear this voice, this somewhat well-spoken individual. Rhymewing, what brings you here this time? And that is where we're going to take a break, because we need to get some more drinks and use the restroom, and we'll be back very shortly. Please stick around. And we are here. We are playing a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons. We're celebrating that of Pride in the Tampa St. Pete area. So please stick around. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back. We are going to try to jump right back in here where we left off. Because we don't have everyone here with us, stream's probably going to be a little short today, but we're going to try to get as much in as possible. So let's jump right back in as the party finds themselves within the pen and the sword. All the music has stopped, and the human individual seated at the table has his hand raised up in the air, calls out, Rhymewing, what brings you back? And drops his hand down.
Make my way over to the table.
As soon as you make your first step towards the table, the music kicks back on and everything just kind of goes back into what it was.
Is he at a table with another chair, or is...
You see 3 other chairs.
Okay.
We will
I'm stepping like a step behind Eric's.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
I'm still...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Marceline note this?
You didn't look.
Nope, sure didn't.
Also, I'd say I do have my hand on Mal's wrist again, still.
Okay. Oh, because you guys are just like, yeah. You guys are killing me. So you approach the table, very loud around you, but you see the individual. As soon as you do approach, his feet come down off the top of the table, and he positions himself and sits more properly for this interaction.
Lovejoy, always a pleasure.
Have a seat, please.
I take a seat.
And your friends, please.
Pipalook, I'd prefer to stand.
That is a very long last name.
Afbjornanumi. Pipalook Afbjornanumi.
Also a very long name. Anyway,
Is this a friend of yours, Eric's?
and it's
Friend. Of sorts, yes. And who are you? You are a large individual.
I'll try to like use a fake ass voice and be like, Borg.
Roll me a deception show, Borg.
Also, depending on that, I might look at you in like confusion. Like,
Nice, 19.
19.
okay. All right.
Borg. Do you tend to scrap a little bit? You like to fight?
I got this, and I pull up my rapier.
Swords. Okay, well, not so much what I was looking for, but please have a seat. All or one. Who is that? As he looks behind you, seeing that of Velafera Xanastar. Please, someone get another chair, please. You're more than welcome to sit if you'd like, Miss.
I'm fine,
I don't
thank
sit in
you.
chairs.
Oh yeah. Does Velafera act a certain way? The fact that I'm a half orc right now.
Mm-mm.
She's totally fine with the
She's
fact
totally
that I'm
fine
a
with it.
half-orc?
Yep.
Okay.
She saw you change, so she gets the idea that this
Okay.
is your ruse, and she's privy to it. So,
Okay. I draw a chair for all three of them, and I stand off to the side.
so Eric's is the only one that sits.
Yep.
Oh,
Eric's look calm. Like,
Oh, does no one else sit?
I'm not sitting.
Bjorn's not sitting. You're not sitting.
Well, does Velafera sit?
Disadvantage.
What? Who are you to call?
I mean, the chair's right here. If you want it. Chair's right here if you want it.
No.
She does sit.
Okay.
She sits
Yikes.
next to Eric's. And you said, does Eric's look what?
Does he look stressed or worried or concerned that we now have attracted attention?
Insight check.
Yep.
I'll keep standing, and I'll just try to keep eyes on Marceline across the room.
9.
Do you look? How do you look?
Definitely on the inside, I am stressed as shit.
Internally
but-
screaming?
Yeah, very much.
But like, if I glance
The
at you,
inter-
what are you putting off?
I am trying to come across as calm and collected as possible.
Eric's and I are associates.
From your previous exploits into the city.
Previous. Yes, previous exploits.
We are here just simply checking on a associate of ours who is an associate of yours. And I believe we found her, and I look over to Is she looking over here?
Perception check.
Ha!
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm trying to keep eyes on.
You can roll one as well.
I'm
And
keeping
for
eyes on
future
the
reference,
situation.
if you guys, I should have had you roll separately, but that's on me. I'll figure it out. I'll be better in the future.
Nice.
What do you have?
I'm rolling again.
You're gonna use your inspiration.
Yeah.
13.
13.
Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
15.
Okay, both of you see her. She's trying her best to stand behind other people as she has taken notice of the group. Eric's
Nope.
Pipalook she would have seen, and Velafera. She's not really sure that that's Rao, but she's like, unless they picked up somebody along the way, she knows it's the group-ish. But she's trying her best to hide herself behind someone, but it's blatant. You can just see her trying to move around. An associate of mine.
We hadn't been to the city together as a group before completely, at least myself. These folks had been together for longer, and we lost contact with her for an extended period, and we're just simply worried about her well-being.
As am I now. I'm very concerned. And he looks developed. Very concerned.
But it appears she is just fine.
Who is it that we are referring to?
I gesture to Marceline.
I'm not. One of my wolves. My fangs.
Yes.
but they tend to take care of themselves. She appears to be fine. And that seems to be settled. Now we can move on to other business.
Is there other business?
I don't know. We had in the relationship here, Eric's, and you've not been here to hold up your end of the bargains. Information passed. Information passed. I haven't heard much from you in quite some time. Months.
What sort of bargains are you talking about?
She speaks so eloquently. Bargains? Well, I mean, I pass on certain informations to that of Eric's, and in return I get other information. He is a plethora of information, useful. Are you a plethora of useful information, Miss Bjorn Anumi, was it?
I would rather not have an association with you if that is okay.
Ral kind of scratches himself in a dumb kind of way, and Ral just tries to pretend to be as dumb as possible.
Well, pardon me, but that's not the case now, is it? Now we have introduced one another. Now I know you and you know me, and we are friends now.
We are not.
Ooh, I would be happy to reestablish and
I look forward to that reestablished relationship. The sooner rather than later. How about now? What great information do you have to bring to me today, Mr. Rhymewing?
depends on what kind of information you're searching for today, Mr. Lovejoy.
Any news of Meredi? Any news of Isgar? Any news of the Empire? I enjoy all. Great news.
Not currently. I've been out of the cities for a few months now, meeting up with these folks. I've been on other
These folks
business.
from far reaches of the land. This Pipalook individual. I've not seen one of your kind down this far south.
I'm from the north.
I can see this, as your garb does describe you as such. Rather warm down here for you, is it not?
I'm sorry. I would rather us leave as quickly as we can.
I'm sorry, that is not the case as of yet. You are on my time. You
How
are
can we
new.
help you, Mr. Lovejoy?
I don't know. What informations do you have? You've said you've traveled. I'd love to hear all the informations you have. Have you met any wonderful and interesting people? I see a few. And he looks to Velafera. He looks to Borg.
See, now he's looked 3 times at Villavera. I'm just gonna sidestep.
You're gonna
just a
do
little
the like.
Okay.
bit. Just
Okay. I'm okay.
So what informations do you have to bring? I can offer only what you give me in return.
Really, all we've come across is a peculiar circus that was destroyed by trolls, an emerald guard that was slain by an unknown entity.
An Emerald Guard slain individually, alone.
Well,
That
we
is
found
very
her
peculiar.
individually.
I would love to hear more about that.
Does someone have the weapons that were used?
we do not have them on our person.
Do you know where they may be located?
I believe we gave all that we had over to the Emerald Guard when we passed the outpost.
I mean, the Emerald Guard, we returned her body to the outpost outside of Cariad. And
She?
supplied. Yes.
I would love the name.
I don't believe I have the name. We didn't.
Deception check.
Yeah. I had one more left.
Sure. Zip.
I'm not gonna use that one.
Yes?
15.
Jeez.
No name. It's fine. I can find out. I can ask other questions. But why would a guard be all by themselves?
It was near the forest. I can only imagine what peculiar mission they were sent on by themselves.
I just say,
They were a pony boy. They give messages along the line.
Messages. And you found this individual all by themselves? No messages to be had?
Nope.
Other than perhaps the message that they were killed in some manner.
I'm sorry. I perhaps am not understanding the situation. You have an unsavory way of getting information, but perhaps that way can be taken up with the Emerald Guard. I don't understand how we can give you any other information than what you can achieve.
Everyone is full of information. I'm sure you have a story to tell as well, the rest of you do.
I like walk in front at the table and I like put my fake thinker on the table and I say,
Nothing's free.
Very wise for a half-orc. Nothing is free. Nothing is free at all. So, what little information you've given me, I guess I can offer you bits and pieces. And what is it that you'd like to know? Aside from looking for your friend.
so here's a question because I kind of lost track of it. Who has the patch for the Municipal Design and Civil Charity?
I have it. You gave it to me.
I'll look at Luke and I'll say, the patch with the name. What is it? He might know.
No.
Jesus.
I would rather not create the same associations, as Eric says. Unless you trust him, Eric's. Do you trust him?
I feel like all we want to know today is the welfare of our friend, Marceline, and would be happily to go on our way without any information from you. Just your time.
I can make arrangements for that. There is someone you would have to speak to other than myself, as Marceline has aligned herself with individuals that I only have a bit of sway over. You would have to speak to, well, her captain.
Captain.
Her captain, and he points in the direction you see the androgynous individual, this female-esque individual who takes on no very strong features, we'll say, who now is focused directly on your table as Lovejoy is having this conversation. Her captain, Siljan. You'll speak with Siljan. And I'm sure those arrangements can be made on the welfare of this Marceline. Why is she so important to you?
Just the fact that we had been traveling with her and all of a sudden she wasn't with us. That's all.
Marceline, I'd love to speak with her. And how do you know her? Just from travel?
I believe
We were introduced through another party. But I believe, again, we are done now.
if we
And he
may.
writes himself in his chair. I believe we're done when I say we're done.
Please excuse my companion's candor. She, as you stated, is not from around here, and they don't have the same delicacies of customs where she is from.
Maybe a charisma check with that statement.
I'm not helping you on that.
Oh, you're not helping at all.
That's great. That's the truest statement of the year. Yikes. Okay. What was that? Charisma check?
Yeah.
22.
22. They'll be excused for now. So I can make the arrangements if you'd like to speak with Siljan. But Eric's, please, you're killing me. Any information you bring, again, you know how this works. I can supply you with so much, and I have in the past. I've lost many associates due to some of your questions.
I'll be back.
Very well. He nods, and you see a halfling individual just scurry over to that of this Siljan, and they walk with an air of they're in no rush to get over to the table, but they do move towards you. You see leathered armors, a large scimitar-like blade at the side, and they position themselves and they just step forward, standing as you're still standing. You are still standing, and you were.
Yeah, I'll back them up a little bit.
About 5'8", 5'9", varying. But they look at you, and you, as they get closer, you do see almost featureless. It's hard to even. There's like no strong cheekbones or strong chin, just very smooth skin. This individual looks. There is almost like the hair is so blonde it's almost white, but it's slicked back. Siljan, these individuals have questions about one of your underlings. I leave it to you. And he kind of sits back and holds his drink and kind of enjoys the conversation. Who is it you speak of?
We merely are inquiring as to the location, which we've found out of one Marceline. She is an associate of ours who recently was lost to us, and we just wanted to make sure.
Lost how?
She was away. We didn't know where she was.
She's here.
Indeed.
How do you know Marceline?
I met these folks on the road. They were introduced to her previously.
She looks, and again, you get this. She moves almost like liquid, just very cool. And how did you meet Marceline?
I'd prefer not to answer any more questions while we're here.
Sad. What about you?
She helped me with my toe fungus. You want to see?
I'll start undoing one of the boots.
Oh God.
She doesn't stop you.
Oh. Please don't do that again.
Oh, and Lovejoy is just.
Sipping the tea.
Oh, he is enjoying every moment of this.
And then I'll start putting the shoe back.
Okay. Put it back in place. You don't take it off.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay.
As soon as because Eric
Yeah.
stopped me.
Yeah, no, they.
I believe they were introduced by her foster father, for lack of a better term.
So you know Van Boren, yes?
Yes.
And Lovejoy just smiles. See, I knew there was more to the story.
Ooh, I feel so comfortable.
You wish to speak to Marceline?
And I just bark out,
No. She's alive. It's good enough.
Only if she wants to speak to us. I don't want to force her to make words with people that she doesn't want to associate with any longer, but
I would like to speak with her. I say to Eric specifically.
then yes, we would like to speak to her.
You're the one that killed those people. She said that you killed those people.
Is it a question she's asking him? Or like he's trying to play? Does it sound like unsure in any way?
No, very sure.
Oh.
Just
No.
you're the one that killed those people. She's afraid of you.
She had an experience that allowed her to see into a moment in my past. And it's unfortunate that she fears me now, but...
She fears the other one, too, the, Angel.
I nod and... I don't like it. That's a story perhaps for another time, but I suppose my associate here has questions for her, but otherwise I'm satisfied for
I have
information.
so many more questions now for this Marceline Van Boren Dovavar. I know of him. Yes, I had no idea I had associates so close linked to this Van Boren. This excites me. Sildren, please go get her. Now. And you see Sildren very much not scurry, walk with conviction to go grab Marceline. Marceline, you see her wrist grabbed, and there is a bit of resistance as she is being pulled along by that of Sildren.
I'll just say, I need a drink, and I'll just start walking.
Oh, no.
Towards...
No. Don't go too far. I have many questions.
And then I'll put the finger on the table again and say, then bring me a drink.
Oh, well, please, my manners. How rude of me. And
then,
he immediately, you see it halfway, and his hand just comes out, and it just puts it on his head. Drinks, here, whatever that thing wants. Scurries away. And you notice, too, all the waiters here, halflings.
Yikes.
We won't allow any spies into Dovavar's house.
That's not what he's suggesting here.
I am appalled, and I am offended that you would even think that I would do such a thing.
We've had experiences where jumping to conclusions is the knee-jerk reaction, so apologies, Mr. Lovejoy.
Is he wearing anything like more fancy than usual, like a chain or anything like that?
Perception check.
I don't know which dice to do it with. -1, 16.
16. You would see under his vest, off the side, there's a chain. You would presume it's something maybe like along the lines of a pocket watch, or it's tucked in his pocket. But that would be there is a very much similar to what Rao wears. There's a little pin on his ascot that
holds it all together.
Yep, keeps it together. Jewelry. There are a few rings on his hands. Garish, very much. But you're not sure the value if he's just wearing them to flaunt or if they are actually like the real deal.
Does he have any like fidgets or anything where like he puts too much emphasis on his?
Oh, you're trying to read them? Oh, that's an insight check. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm trying to figure out what to distract him by, so we can just leave here as soon as we can. Oh, that's even better. 18.
18. Nothing that you can see.
Okay.
He seems very
calm.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is his den. This is his lair.
Yes.
This is glaring is a lair action.
Right.
Glaring is a lair action. That's a t-shirt. That's a
Sipping the
t-shirt.
tea is a lair action. Yikes. Getting that tea.
To him, I will say, you're a man that deals in manipulation and secrets. While we've been here, you've pressured my teammate into revealing things that already he should not have revealed. And you make...
We have an arrangement.
You want me to believe that you will not push some kind of action onto Marceline.
I want you to believe what you believe. I cannot sway you to believe anything else.
Would I be able to comprehend that there's like that Marceline answers to the Sildren and not to Carlisle?
Carlon.
So would I be able to like get that there's like that?
I like Carlisle better, but whatever. You said it, I'm like,
Too late. It's written down.
But do I get there's a small dichotomy in the hierarchy that she doesn't really work for him? Like sometimes he's like an outside contractor sort of situation.
Give me a wisdom check. It's gonna be high because that's you're piecing together here something that's more intricate than a single roll, so
Okay. No, that's a 4.
it's hard to gauge here. You're not sure who's calling the shots right now. Carlon is calling the shots. But you see at this point, as this statement is made, Marceline is brought up, and she immediately she finally like gives in, and she stands there. And as soon as she sees you, she closes her robe to not reveal everything that she's not wearing. But she. What are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
Hanging out.
With these people?
These are my friends.
They are not your friends, they're criminals and liars.
Ooh.
Not that bad.
Okay, you're now like...
Criminals and liars.
Sorry.
No, you're good. What they do is none of your business. These are my friends.
It is when it gets brought into Dovavar's house, you understand?
I have not brought anything to Dovavar's house.
You risk it. You're acting like a child.
I am having fun. I had to get away from you people and your antics and the things that I've seen, and
Did you see that's me or no?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
We were worried for your well-being, and so we came to
I am
find you.
well, as you can see.
That is good. That's all we came to see.
She is not well.
Nah,
She can take care of herself.
She cannot.
she's alive.
I can take care of myself just fine.
You think with what has been shown and revealed that they won't pressure her into doing things that she can't handle?
With that, I do agree with Pipaluk. Villafera does speak up. She is a child and she cannot take care of herself. She does run a risk to everything. And if she knows things about... She looks directly at you, Eric's. If she knows things about us, that's a liability.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look at her and just say, or I'm gonna look at Pipoli and say,
She's fine. She just needs to tighten her lips.
as I stare at her.
Everyone here serves that man right there. And you think that she can... Do you think you can defend yourself if someone were to ask you to do something you did not want to do?
I can defend myself just fine, and I've defended myself up to this point. I have a proposal. I will allow for you to leave with Marceline. Allow for a cost.
She makes her own choices. She's a grown woman.
Marceline will be coming with us.
You're not her mom. Just let her do what she wants.
Name your cost and we will see what our answer is.
Well, I mean, I am always one for games of chance. We could, play for it. I mean, are any of you inclined in these games? Or do you maybe... Roy.
Right.
He is Corey is watching right now, and he's just like, told you, I told you, I told you.
I do not much care to leave things to chance. Sorry.
Careful tapping.
Yeah.
You're good.
She's a skill person, whatever that means.
No.
Me.
Oh.
Pipoli.
You know cards? And he...
I know chess.
Oh, no. He snaps his fingers, and you see these cards, and it was supposed to be some sort of fan flourish, and cards.
Can I try to catch one?
Dex check.
I don't want to do anything. I don't want to show my
Nope.
ass.
They all scatter to the ground. I really got to get better at that. So, we could play a game of chance. You win. You take Marceline wherever you'd like. I am not I did not ask for you to speak. You win. Marceline is yours. If I win, maybe. You tell me more about this Dovavar. I'd love to know what he has. Simple. If you're skilled, as you say, Mr. Borg.
A game of skill, not cards. I know chess and I know war games.
You like war games?
I know war games, yes.
How about this then? Maybe to play to your strong suit. A fight.
There it is. Yep.
You seem able-bodied.
I am.
He points to Siljan.
Oh,
They are able-bodied.
a fight.
A fight. Well. Well, let's prepare. Siljan, are you prepared?
What do I got? Do I got anything?
Yeah,
Shit.
I'm prepared. It's the first time you've seen this individual smile. Well, do what you need to do. I will. Let's get these odds placed.
Glancing over Soldier real quick, do I see any sign of what weapons they use, or they're a live individual, right? So can I just size them up?
Yep, you're trying to size them up?
Yep.
Roll me an insight check.
As soon as it says like these odds place, I throw 10 gold on the table.
Okay. For whom?
Mine, of course.
I'm gonna use one of my inspirations.
Yeah. Right now?
Yeah, because I built shit on that.
Oh,
Fine, I won't.
No.
No, I'm gonna take the hint.
I already
You
said
already
it.
said it.
Already said it.
you already said it.
I did already say it, but I'm curious.
Bro,
Do you have one more?
I have one more.
Okay.
I have my every game one left.
I'm just like gonna
Or I
put this
have
in
my own
perspective
skill.
though. Things constantly trying to kill us, like all that shit the past 2 months.
It's good for you.
Like this is like
Okay.
next time. This is next time.
Oh my god.
As you're trying to size up the individual, you're looking in that vicinity. You see them step away, and what blade that they had on their person, you see them loosen the belt and take the belt off, setting their blade off to the side. You get the idea that weapons are probably not used in this fight that will occur.
I'll look over my party, and I will hand.
I just give like a thumbs up, like a giant thumbs up.
By the way,
Ooh.
you
Ooh.
probably got about 20 minutes left on your.
Ooh.
I'm just saying, just so you're aware. Yeah.
As long as this little fight doesn't last.
He's like
20
thumbs up.
minutes.
It's like, oh shit. I'm a me.
I'm gonna hand my quarterstaff to Ral.
Okay. To Borg.
Shit house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You hand that. Are you wearing armor?
I am wearing armor because unless I see them take off their leather armor,
Okay.
I'm gonna keep my armor on. But I do take off my pants and things.
As you suggested, you do see them removing their leathers off of them.
All right, I'll take mine off as well, just leaving the fur.
Okay. Yeah, you see the individual very plain clothed. Nothing about them suggests armor. This is when you do get a better idea that there's just, you cannot put your finger on it. Who or what or where they come from or anything of that nature. It is escaping you. I would say, roll me a wisdom check.
Oh no. That's gonna be a 6.
Nope, nothing about it.
Okay.
So, as prepared, you are.
Before they start dragging Pippaluke off, I
Dragging. Oh fuck.
escorting Pippaluke.
Come here, you.
I place a hand kind of like on her shoulder,
Mhm.
and as I remove it, there's an emblem on you, and this is
Are you blatantly doing this?
yeah. It just looks like paint.
No.
It's just paint.
Make me a deception check.
It really is not even thinking.
I don't know. Hey, I'm just making sure.
Hey, natural 20.
Natural 20. Oh, fine.
Yeah, I just drag my half orc thumb across, and it says, and I press into it, and I say,
That means war.
it's a symbol right there.
Thank you.
It looks like paint on you.
Thank you.
I love the way you savages communicate with one another. So, you over that way, and Sildren, you know where to go, and they head in that direction. Marceline, you see, as soon as Sildren steps away, another individual, one of the door people, walks over. The larger human that stands at the door, comes over and stands next to Marceline, just to make sure that she doesn't step out of line or try to escape.
Is Carlon sitting at this table watching this?
No, he is not. His table was far back from the railing. As soon as all this begins to step off, he stands up and please, over to the railing here. Let's see this. So the band's still playing, and as
I had to put my -2 up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't forget it. The band begins to play a raucous song for you to beat the crap out of each other to. A dwarf steps down into the center of this pit as you make your way down these stairs. Very much I don't know, a theater type seating, almost like if you were going to watch like the old style like surgeries. They're set in that atmosphere, and everyone's just gathering, seeing now this new individual, this new fighter, and that of Sildren. The dwarf steps out, and you get the sense that everyone kind of knows who he is, and he begins to we have a special event today, this evening. We bring you all to watch a regular to the ring, Sildren, and everyone just loses it. This individual does not
regular to the ring.
This individual does not give any flourish or cockiness to him. They just hands at their side and just accepting modestly these cheers. And a savage from the far north. Oh yeah, they really look at it. We have that of Papalak.
There it is. Yes.
But I don't something from the north. And are you guys gonna cheer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey!
Eric's is drinking heavily.
Bellafair just.
Did my bet get taken by the way?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. You do see. Yeah, you would see money moving around. He looks to you and he looks to Sildren. Well, you know the rules. Get in there and fight. And he walks away and leaving it as such. We are going to roll initiative as you are going to fight that of Sildren. Oh my god.
Oh.
The odds being in your favor.
What do you got?
2.
Awesome. I rolled a 4 plus, so a 7. So,
What's your next? Oh yeah, you're never mind. Strength. Okay, cool.
all right. So with that, they have the initiative. They dart over towards you, run at you, and they send over a barrage of hits in your direction. Jab, cross, and a jab. So they are going to attempt to hit you. That is not going to hit. That is a 7 to strike. You dodge out of the first one. The second attack it's going to be a 10, and the last as they spin around to hit at you is going to be a 21.
Yeah, it hits.
That that's 3 points of bludgeoning damage from them as they just run at you and begin this assault at you. It is your turn.
Pulling back from like the last punch,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna dart forward. I'm gonna try to slam into the ground.
Grapple?
Grapple. Yeah.
Grapple check. So your strength versus their dexterity.
Yeah.
That's a natural 20.
Oh.
As you go to reach at, here's the thing. As they go to reach for them, you get the sense that their whole their whole fluid motion is consistent in everything that they do, and they just almost just push you off to the side, but almost to the point of it caught you so off guard. That is your
That's my action.
Mhm.
No bonus action for now.
Okay.
No movement.
They, seeing that, they are going to, as you're off to the side, they try to catch you off guard. They are to jump up and throw a punch. That is a 7. That is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
And the last attack is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
So you are going to take 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And it is your turn.
Alright, I just want to... I'm just checking real quick. Make sure... This is not a melee weapon attack, right?
No, because it's not a weapon.
This is, yeah, it's
I couldn't remember if unarmed was...
unarmed, but maybe after looking, you are proficient, so don't forget to add your modifiers.
Yeah. Then I'm just going to pull back and just want to hit them in the stomach, like just as hard as I can.
As you go to do this, you
Yeah.
see for a split second their body moves,
Yeah.
and they're going to use their unsettling visage, and they shift into a form that is going to be harder for you to hit.
Okay,
So you will strike at disadvantage.
that's fine. That's gonna be 21.
That's going to
Yeah.
Hey,
And it's just...
One
Sorry,
plus
1
your
plus
strength.
my strength, that's gonna be 5 points of damage.
5 points of bludgeoning damage to them. You crack into them. They take all of that hit and look to you.
Just completely unsettled by what they try to do.
Seeing what you've attempted already, they will take their action. They are going to attempt to grapple you, and they're going to bring their forearm into your neck and try to choke you out. So we're going to see if they can grapple first. So your strength or
Strength,
acrobatics.
It's gonna be 12.
Yes, they 18 plus 2, so a 20. They get their arm wrapped around you, and they are legs up around your waist, and they hold now, and they are beginning the process of choking you. That is their action. It is your turn.
Then instead of like breaking the grapple, I'm just gonna take the arm and I'm just gonna bite it as hard as I can, just to try to like get them to release.
roll me an attack.
Yep.
You have advantage while grappled.
Ooh.
Against
Because
each
melee
other.
attack.
Well, whenever you're grappled, both have advantage against each other.
It's gonna be 16,
16 hits.
and that's 1 plus strength for bite.
1 plus your strength. Yep.
Okay, 5 points of damage.
5 points of bite damage.
Yeah.
Good lord. As soon as you bite down, you hear this scream. This again, this voice. It's not effeminate, but not masculine. It is that fine line in between. And just
And then just as movement flavor, I'm gonna wrap my arm because I'm gonna prepare for my next move. So I'm gonna wrap my arm around her.
Okay. At this point, they take with that. They still have their arm wrapped around you. They are going to take their arm and try to choke you. I need you to make me a Constitution check, but they're trying to choke you out.
Ralph's totally into this, by the way. He's just like, let her fucking it off.
It's gonna be 15.
15.
Excuse me? You okay there?
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as they are, you put your chin down and they're trying to get their arm underneath your chin to choke you out, and push them off, stave off that. That is their full action to attempt to try to choke you out.
Alright, then I'm going to try to break the grapple. I'm gonna try to pull her back and rip her arm forward.
Okay, so you're using strength. I'm going to use acrobatics to. Actually, no, this is strength on strength.
Strength on strength.
That's 12.
10.
And they're still holding you. I need you to make another con check as they are pulling down. They're trying to press their forearm into your throat.
Oh, it's gonna be 20.
20, yeah. You're pushing it off, and there's this whole thing where you just see people moving back and forth, and this individual is just trying to hang on as best as possible. It is your turn.
I want to try to just fall back and slam them onto the ground.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
No. I think. Yeah. Yeah, you just drop, right?
Yeah.
I'm
just
gonna make
drop
a.
back
I'm gonna make a
with all-
dexterity acrobatics check to see how they maneuver to not get you fall. Not have you fall on them.
Can I like hold on to their arm to make it a disadvantage? Because I don't want them to just boom.
I'll allow it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So that was a 6 on that roll and 11 on the other. So yes, they fall back down. They'll take a point of bludgeoning damage as you throw all of your frame on them. I mean, you're thin, but you're still pretty hardy.
Yeah.
So 1 point of damage to them. Okay. Looks good so far. At this point, you've fallen back. They, with that happening, they're struggling to try to get under your neck. They take you and they grab you by your freshly cut hair now. They grab you and she's going to just try to plug you right in the back of the head. That is a 12 to hit.
That just hits.
She cracks you in the back of the head. You're going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Yeah, that's a 19 to hit. You're going to take another 3 points of bludgeoning damage. And she's going to... No, she would not get a third attack with that because she's using one hand. Yeah. That is her turn. She's just hold you on the ground, holding the back of your head and just pop.
What's the floor situation? Like, what makes up the floor?
The floor is mostly sand. Yeah, it's sand. It's a sand pit.
Then I'm just gonna grab a handful and just shove it up above and just try to get sand in her eyes, her face, her mouth.
Okay, make me a straight dex check.
Separately. 7.
7. The sand flies back, but you don't feel like you've successfully put it in their face.
Okay. That is. That is gonna be me for now.
All right, they are going to attempt to wiggle out from underneath you.
Yep.
So I'm just if you want to continue strength grapple, they're going to use their dexterity to try to wiggle out. That is a 4, so a 7.
18.
18. They attempt to wiggle out. They're still stuck under you. That was their action. It is your turn.
All right. I am. That's the pencil.
Yeah, keep going.
I'm going to put my hand into the sand again, and I'm going to use Channel Divinity to call vines from the earth to kind of hold her, like get in between us and hold her down. She can make a acrobatics or a strength save.
I'm going to do acrobatics.
Yeah.
Saving throw?
Strength or dex saving throw. Sorry, yes.
Dexterity.
Yeah.
That is a 9. 4 on the roll.
Nope. She fails. They fail. I'm so sorry.
Yes, Ron?
They fail. They are now restrained, and I would like to. I can't break the grapple because that was my action.
Okay. They are wrapped in these vines that pulled out of nowhere. Probably the depths of this, whatever this city was built on centuries ago.
Yep.
Have lurched up out of the ground.
As soon as the vines come out, you hear Ralph scream out from the everything. Curb stop that motherfucker!
And that is going to be my turn because I can't break the grapple. I can't really do anything else.
It's funny as this is occurring too. Eric's out of your peripheral. You see Bellafera, and in this brief moment, you see her grip her fist and kind of like kind of rooting. Yeah, I mean, she was trying her best to be, but your passive perception is high enough to see you just kind of like fuck you, like get her, get her ass. Vines up.
Yeah. See, I
get
got
to
you doing it now.
no, I was doing it the whole time. They get to on their turn get to try to break free. All right, so they're gonna do the dexterity saving throw.
Yeah.
That is a 17.
Ah, darn it!
They wiggle out from underneath, but you use their entire turn for them to break out from these roots.
And they are away from me now, or where?
They are probably 5-10 feet.
Okay. Then I'm going to.
Other half the movement to stand up.
Yeah.
They stand there looking at you.
Then I want to take my movement. I want to try to hit her and try to force her. Ah, I'm so sorry.
You're fine. You're good. You're fine.
Sorry, I lost my track.
You're gonna punch the shit out of
I'm
him.
gonna punch the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Thank you for words.
You're welcome.
That's gonna be 12.
A 12?
Yeah.
That is going to miss.
Ah,
Just miss.
sexy.
They definitely are very dexterous. They see that and they take advantage of you. They take advantage of you doing that. They will swing around and they were going to punch you in the ribs twice. That is a 10, and that is another 10.
Nope.
Identical rolls. That is your turn. What would you like to do?
Alright, then I'm having a hard time hitting them, so I'm just gonna try to do what they did. I'm gonna try to do a grapple and
Choke
I
them
guess,
out?
yeah, choke.
All right, your strength versus their acrobatics.
This is 14.
11.
Yes!
So you
Both are rolling so
go right behind them.
Great!
You go right behind
I
them. Put your arm under their neck, and you on your turn,
Yeah,
you'll be able to start the process of choking them out.
yeah.
On their turn, they try to wiggle free. No, they're going to take their hand and they're going to try to punch you in the back of the head. That is a 15.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Their second attack with that hand, because they have one hand holding you here, trying to keep that from choking them, and the other one's just smacking you in the back of the head. That is a 20, dirty 20.
Oh,
hit.
yeah, that hits.
That's another 3 points of bludgeoning damage. It is your turn.
I'm
I'm gonna make a
okay,
con
yep.
check to see if they can maintain them from getting choked out.
Yeah, I'm choking a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, that is a dirty 20.
Okay.
They're holding and keeping themselves from.
Is it against my acrobatics? Is that?
It's just.
Or am I did?
It's based on a DC so it's DC 10 plus your strength.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's 14.
Yeah, you're just
That's 14.
pulling and just squeezing tight on their neck and trying to stave off that effect. They're not seeing stars just quite yet, but that was your turn as you were pulling tight. They are going to attempt to try to now break that because they feel that
Yeah.
you have the upper hand. That is an acrobatics of natural 20. Sorry, it's a strength check. It's a natural 20.
Yep.
Okay. They slip or push away from you, and they look at you. They're not looking rough, but they definitely get the sense that you are rather strong. They are alive. You are strong.
Yeah.
It is your turn again.
Can I do something?
Please don't.
Can I stealthily, nothing serious, can I stealthily try to cast Prestidigitation and have the smell of juniper berries surround Pippaloo?
Do you know what juniper berries smell like?
I mean, like, Brass Gardens, that's where I'm from.
Okay.
The Arboretum of Continuar.
What are the components?
Verbal and semantic.
Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Can I assist? Never mind.
You're doing it, Roland.
I will use my last inspiration.
There you go.
13.
13. Okay. You do the gestures. Pippaluk, you smell the juniper in the air. Very familiar to you. I will grant you advantage on your next attack roll based on that smell in the air. I lost track. It is your turn.
Yeah, it is my turn. Alright, so I'm gonna try to just go for the solar plexus. I'm gonna try to win them.
Okay.
Make them feel.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yay!
God.
I know, I'm really amazing. Waste. It was a 6 and an 8 that I rolled. That's gonna be 12, which misses. So I'm
How
gonna.
long is the prestidigitation?
Fun fact, up to an hour, and it's not concentration.
Okay. I would say as long as you are smelling that, you can roll it.
Okay.
But it is within 1 cubic foot, so as long as she stands where she's at.
Okay. Good to know.
As long as I don't move.
Right.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna feel the vibe of the force. I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith, and like somehow out of the sand, Pine Needle will shoot up and start like dancing around me.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
That is So your action to strike, your
Yep.
bonus action to shield of faith.
Yep, my AC just went up.
All right.
Not that I need to make this.
They are going to punch. Yeah, they're going to take their three strikes at you. That is a 17.
Yep.
A 21.
Yep.
And a 14.
God, it just hits!
All right, so you take 9
10
points of
points.
bludgeoning damage. So they just with the shield, with these pine needles up in the air, they for some reason they just pull strong enough to push through these. Whack, whack, whack. How do you look?
I'm definitely bloody.
Okay. See a bit of blood just trickling out of Pipluke's.
Yeah.
No, you would see them not bloodied as of yet, but they're definitely kind of winded. This fight has given them a run for their money. That is your turn.
Yeah. Then I'm just gonna try to grab their shoulders and just land a solid knee to the. I'm doing a lot of body hits. Basically.
Okay, go for it.
That's what you're supposed to do against the fast person.
Ooh. Minus 15 plus 6 for 19.
19. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. 5 points.
5 points of bludgeoning damage to
Yeah.
them. With that, you see when you throw that knee up. Oh, you definitely knock the wind out of them. You not bleeding, not blood. You get the sense they are bloodied at this point. Really, nothing showing visually. Everything seems to be probably internally. So that is your turn.
Yeah, that's my attack.
With that, they are going to take with you that close to them. They take and grab you by the back of the head, and they're going to throw their knee up and try to crack you in the face with it. That's a critical hit.
Shoot.
Yeah, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as right in the face. As they see you lurch back, they're going to take and I'm going to say they're going to get one bonus action attack at you.
Okay. And my AC dropped down to 12.
Okay.
No, 13. Sorry. It's a negative one.
No, that's not even in the thing. Yep, that's a 21 to hit.
Okay.
You take another 3 points of bludgeoning damage. What do you got?
I'm not grappled currently, right?
No. And you were
Then-
still technically within the 1 cubic foot.
Then I'm just gonna look them in the eye to swipe their blood off and lay on hands myself 20 points of healing.
Yeah.
My God. Sneaky.
All right, 20 points of healing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You, the scent of juniper in the air increases as you imbibe yourself. That is your turn.
Yep.
It is their turn. They are going to 3 attacks. Whap, whap, whap. That is a 18,
You okay?
a 21, and a 7. So 2 attacks hit. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right. I'm just gonna return another hit from myself because I just want to put them down when we're grappling. That's gonna be plus 4, 13.
13 just hits.
Yes, 5 points.
They attempt to move out the way, and you just outstretch yourself to the outstretch yourself. How much?
Yep. 5 points.
5 points. They start to wobble a bit, trying to hold their ground. They move right at you again. This time they are going to take their you see almost like they're winding up for a pitch. They take and they press it into your knee. They are trying to kick out what's the word I'm looking for?
This
Hyperextend your knee.
Front
That's a
leg
critical-
hug!
A critical hit. You take 6 points of damage. Your speed is now halved. As you all see front leg hug. You all see the knee that was standing like this in a stance it just whoop, full invert. Yeah. Ah.
Yeah. Then I just want to try to grapple them and just drop because I can't
Alright,
do anything on that leg.
Your strength versus their dex.
Yeah.
That is a 14.
Strength, athletics. or strength?
Your athletics, I'm sorry.
All right, that's a 14. This isn't an advantage, right? It's just attack rolls.
Only attack rolls.
14 on my side.
14?
Yeah. Does it go to them?
No.
It's the one whoever's escaping gets that.
Oh, okay, then me. You reach out for them and they push back.
All right, that's me. That was me trying to grapple.
Okay, yeah, they, with you overextending yourself, they are going to, it's crack, and they're going to try to uppercut you. So, that is a 4, so you move out of the way, hobbling around as best you can. There it is. That's a dirty 20.
Yeah.
So 3 points, and then they're going to spin around and just try to hammer fist you. That is a 13. Was that hit?
That just hits.
All right, so another 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
All right, I'm gonna try to return hit.
You got this.
I want to have this. That's gonna be more than 13 to hit.
Okay.
5 points. Yeah, it's on the ropes.
Yeah, they're blood gushing out of both nostrils now. They sway back and forth.
Can I scream something at the person the Blue's fighting?
You're trying to distract somebody?
Yeah, exactly. Or, I'm just trying to yell at him.
Roll me performance check.
Alright. I'm gonna say, hey you! I've seen sun elves that have better punches than your weak wrist bitch ass!
You say sun elves?
Yeah.
Everyone goes quiet when you utter the word sun elf in this room. Roll me performance check.
Doing it anyways. I don't care. 16.
16. In that instance, they pause and they look in your direction. Was it my turn?
Yeah. Oh, no, it was. Yeah.
You have advantage on that attack.
Yeah.
Is that double advantage?
I can't just automatically hit it. More than 13 to hit.
Yes.
So that's 11 plus 6 minus 2. 14. It's 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
Yeah.
They look to you, and you say sun elf. And as soon as they turn back around, you see Pipaloop crack, and they
Thank you.
They pause. They look, and they're just seeing. They see 2 Pipaloops, and they land.
Shut up.
And with that, we are going to end tonight's episode with an epic knockout. We do appreciate you joining us on this adventure. Just to give you a heads up, next week we will not be doing a live episode. We are working on trying to give you guys a little extra something, maybe to catch up with us as we are moving forward here. Also, too, on the 10th of July, we might have a few other surprises to give you. Please tune in. We're going to be really excited about that. But thank you again for joining us. Please, if you can, give a shout out or give a look to all of our sponsors. Easy Roller Dice Company. You can check them out at easyrollerdice.com. Also, Sustainable Families Foundation. That's a great organization. Feel free to check out their website. And if you can, give them some love. If you want to donate via our stream, you can send us bits, and which we will make sure that they find their way to the to that organization. But you can check them out at sustainablefamiliesfoundation.org. Also, Carolina Brontes, great artist within the community, who does some great work for us and will be doing some great work for us in the future. Please check her out on her Twitter at @fires_00. Please, wherever you're from, if you're watching this nationwide or whatever, it is Pride Month, Pride Week for us. Please show love and respect to everyone out there. We live in a great community within Dungeons and Dragons, and we welcome anyone to the table. We welcome anyone to the table. So please feel free to pick up some dice and hang out and be who you want to be. We love you all. Thank you so much. Please have a great 4th of July weekend coming up here. Be safe. And I think we're going to go ahead and end on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.